All right, so let's get this breakdown in, okay? So, this article is focused on this character right here. This is Gary Trent Jr., American basketball shooting guard, okay? And look, for the Milwaukee Bucks of the NBA, he played college basketball for the Duke Blue Devils. So that's going to be something extra to add to the breakdown. And if you're not familiar with how I do this, I'll enter that there. And then, maybe somewhere along the way we'll see if that connects to what I already have with these slides, okay? And if you like I said, if you didn't know by now, this is a breakdown channel. I break down these stories, and I think if you're new here and you stick around to the end, you'll see how I prove this stuff is just it's just scripted on the language and the birthday of the character, the date of this game, right? We're in the NBA playoffs. So Gary Trent Jr. ties a Bucks playoff mark with 9 threes. He and Giannis, they both score 37, and it's a 16-point victory for the Bucks. Game 3 win over the Pacers, all right? And I'll use Canva to show you this breakdown. And let me share that tab right now, okay? So this is Canva if you're not familiar. This is a nice source here to kind of put together these presentations, all right? So right away, check this out. Look at that right there. 3, right? This guy, Gary Trent Jr., 9 threes. You see that? That's a good amount of threes, okay? Look at that. 3. Look at how 3 in the language equals 29 right there. And if you look at the date of the game, Friday, look, April 25th, 4th month, 25th day. 4 plus 25 is 29. Now we get this big game for Trent. 9 threes. You see that right there? And it looks like they changed the title of the article just a little bit here. The AP tends to do that, but it's still the same results, right? But you see that? 9 threes, and then in the language, 3 equals 29. 4 plus 25 with the date is 29. Even look, 3 in the reverse cipher, you get 79 like Bucks, and he's a member of the Bucks. Check that out. And I added that late. Just kind of like icing on the cake. I just caught that at the very end here, okay? This is his middle name, uh, Dewan. Maybe you can say it Dejan, possibly, but that's how it's spelt regardless, okay? That's his middle name. Look at his middle name as 39, and 3-pointers, he hit 9. You see that? So 39 or 93. You see that? So 3-pointers, threes, he hit 9. Middle name's got the 39 right there. Look, his dad was a basketball player in the NBA, Gary Trent Sr. Isn't that amazing? Because his dad is born in the 9th month. And you see he was on a few different teams there. All right? Look at that. His dad was born in the 9th month. And now his son's trending with 9 threes. Isn't that cool? So it's connected to his father. I'm telling you, This is how they connect certain characters, and it's not a coincidence. You get a father-son connection here. Isn't isn't it amazing that he's got 33 on his jersey there? And his son hit 9 threes. Father born in the ninth month. And look, Trent, who started 9 of the 74 games he played in this season. Look at that. And then he hits the 9 threes, father born in the ninth month. Started 9 of the 74 games this season. His dad is born in 74. Isn't that amazing? And then obviously the 33s on his dad's jersey here. Look at that. Obviously 33 is like 3, right? And this is centered on 3-pointers for his son. And isn't that amazing? He played in 74 games and his dad is born in 74. Here's his father right here. You see, former professional basketball player. He may have played for the Bucks, possibly. I'm going to ask Google right now. And the father of current basketball player Gary Trent Jr. How many teams did Gary Trent Sr. play for?
According to Mid-American Conference, Trent went on to enjoy an 11-year
4
NBA
teams.
career averaging more than 8 points and 4 rebounds per game with Portland, Toronto, Dallas, and Minnesota. Trent graduated from Ohio University in 2011 following his NBA career with a degree in management.
Okay, and you can count on Google to get us that information. Look at this right here. In 2013, Gary Trent, Hall of Fame, Mid-American Conference. You see that? 20 plus 13 is 33. Okay, and I just showed you he's got the 33 on his jersey. And his son just hit big with 9 threes. So you see how that's very simple, and of course there's more. Isn't that awesome? For real, right? Look, I don't know why it's glitching like that. Trent finished 9 for 12 from behind the arc to tie Hall of Famer Ray Allen's Bucks mark for most three-pointers in a postseason game. Okay? And notice the last season for Ray Allen here. Look at that. 9.6 points a game. So just over 9 points a game in that final season for Ray Allen. And that was on with Miami. You see that? But he did play for the Bucks as well. Look at that. So you get another 9 with Ray Allen. Isn't that awesome? I think that's amazing right there. It's really a blessing and a testament to my hard work and everything that I put into it, Trent said. I was a big fan of Ray Allen as a kid and watched him accomplish great things as a Buck. Isn't that awesome? And you know what I didn't add, but what I'm going to show you right now? So you see how the final season for Ray Allen, Trent ties Ray Allen for most three-pointers in a postseason game with 9. You see the just over 9 on the points in the final season right there for Ray Allen. Excuse the dog snoring in the background. Look at the 9.6 points. Would you believe that this game is 96 days after the Gary Trent Jr. birthday? I'm going to show you right now. Look at his birthday, January 18. Let me go right over here. And so check this out. So you got the 1/18 birthday for Gary Trent Jr. on the fly. Look at this. And the game was 425. Oh, well, it's 96 days in between the two dates. Excuse me. But look at this. You get 74 date numerology on the game. And his dad, born in 74, right? And 74 games played this season for his son. Isn't that awesome? Oops, let me put senior right there. Look at that. So dad born in 74, 74 date numerology on the game. Look at that right there. And his son played in 74 games this season. It looks like they changed a bunch of the language here in the article as they updated the article. But that's cool because we have Canva again right here. So that's freaking awesome. You see it right there? 74 games, right? So already connected to his father here with this big game. And 96 days in between the two dates, Gary Trent Jr.'s birthday and the game. And 9.6 in the final season for Ray Allen with Miami. I saw 20 date numerology with this game as well. Look at how Ray Allen's born on the 20th and Gary Trent Jr. ties him with most threes. In did it say a Bucks playoff game? Yeah, a postseason game right there. Tied for with 9 3-pointers. 20 date numerology on the game. Look at how Ray Allen wore the number 20 in his career. Born on the 20th. As a matter of fact, the 20th day of the 7th month. Look at Gary Trent Jr. ties his postseason mark for threes. Look at the language. Gary DeJuan Trent Jr., the full name, 207. And you see how that syncs up with the Ray Allen birthday right there. Look at that. 207, 207. 20 date numerology on the game. And look at how Ray Allen was born 1 year right here, almost a year after Gary Trent Sr. You see that right there? And look at 3-pointer. This is just the language here, okay? 3-pointer, when you just apply the numerical value in the reduction cipher, look, 72. Gary DeJuan Trent Jr., 72. And you see how that's very similar to 207. You see that? Look at the middle name, DeJuan, 111. Bucks, 11. Gary Trent Jr., 11.1 points average on the season, 111. The Pacers, they lose this game to Gary Trent Jr. and the Bucks. The Pacers score 101, which is, you see the 11 right there, don't you? And Giannis, don't forget, Giannis matched the 37 points with Gary Trent Jr. You see that? They beat the Pacers. Pacers equals 37 in reverse reduction. Okay, and one last connection here. You see how you have 18 date numerology on the game as well? Gary Trent Jr., born on the 18th day of the year. Gary DeJuan Trent Jr., 108 like 18. Total points scored here, 218. All right. So some awesome connections, all synced up with his father, Gary Trent Sr. and Ray Allen. Those are some huge connections with Ray Allen right there. And of course, Giannis is in the mix with the matching. Ooh, you know what? Giannis with the 37, Gary Trent Jr. with the 37. And you see Pacers equals 37. Look, 37 plus 37 is 74. 74 date numerology on the game. Gary Trent Sr., born in 74. His son played in 74 games this season. Wow. It just doesn't stop. That's freaking awesome right there. Wow, it's so much. It almost makes me think that we're missing something, but of course we're going to miss something, right? Of course there's something to be missed, but damn, look at that. 37 plus 37, 74. I don't, and yeah, it wants to glitch on me like that. And the full name 207 to match the Ray Allen birthday. Don't forget, this is just 4 base ciphers with the language here, okay? This is it right here. Ooh, Blue Devils has that 39. Ooh, and you get the 111. Look, and I told you when we started that was on the fly. Blue Devils 111 and 39. That's where he went to college. And that's why I like doing that on the fly. Okay? Because remember, his middle name equals 111, like Blue Devils. Bucks 11. Look, 11.1 points on the season. Pacers score 101, like 11. And remember, 3-pointers. He tied Ray Allen's playoff mark. He hit 9. Look at that. Blue Devils has the 39 as well as the 111. And his middle name equals 39. Woo! See, that's why we break off and we go on the fly right there. Notice how, look at how Duke equals 22 in the language right there. Trent Sr. is born on the 22nd. And remember, he's got the 9th month birthday, and his son hits 9 threes, y'all. Man. Whew. You see that? Man, forget Canva. Let's go over here. I don't like how it's glitching on me. Maybe this mouse needs to... Maybe this mouse needs to be charged. And look, that's everything I entered right there, besides what we just hit on the fly. Look at that. Not so much. No stretch over here. And that was awesome. I do want to scan the article a little bit just to see if there's anything we can add. Let's see when the next game is as well. Let me pull it up over here. And I'm seeing a lot of 16 connections here as well. And again, they won by 16 points. Look at Trent Sr. He was born in Ohio. Ohio equals 16 and 61. And when we go back over here, remember 3 equals 79, Bucks 79, 7 plus 9 is 16. And I think there's a couple more within there. I was like kind of tracking them in my mind as we were going, but I think I might have lost a couple of them. But nice. Okay, so now you can take a look at that as I scan the article. Okay, so yeah, 9 threes. I mean, it may not be as big of a deal as it used to be because it seems like that's all these players shoot now is threes, right? But he's not like the greatest player. So for him to get 9 threes, I mean, he's averaging 11.1 on the season, right? So he's kind of like he's a serviceable player. But for real, 37 points. So he gets about 26 roughly over his average. That's pretty damn good, all right? Okay. So Bucks coach Doc Rivers said Trent's aggressiveness earned him a start. Okay? So he wasn't even a starter, all right? There were two reasons: the offensive part because he's really aggressive, and the defensive part because of his hands. Rivers said we wanted somebody aggressive to attack Tyrese Halliburton, Pacers guard. And let's just see if there's anything else we need to pull out of the article here. And I mentioned Giannis had 37 points to match Trent Jr. Giannis also added 12 rebounds for the Bucks, and they host Game 4 on Sunday. And if I didn't, I don't know if I mentioned it, but you see the Pacers are up 2 games to 1, so that was like kind of a must-win victory for the Bucks there. You're down 2-0. Might want to win that third game, right? And let's look for the Pacers here. Siakam had 28. Aaron uh, Nesmith. It's almost like Naismith, right? Didn't Naismith wasn't he like the founder of basketball or whatever? But Nesmith had 18 points. Halliburton had 14. You get the 37 match with Giannis and Gary Trent Jr., AJ Green with 12 points. Bobby Portis Jr. chips in 10. So look, you get a look at the juniors on this team. Trent Jr., Portis Jr., Kevin Porter Jr., all on the same team there, the Bucks. So pretty cool. Yeah. Bucks, and don't forget about Damian Lillard. He was held to only 7 points on 2 of 12 shooting. That's hideous. And he made just 1 of 8 3-pointers, probably because it was scripted for Trent to have this big game. Trent Jr. here. So yeah, y'all. Like I say, I put these slides together, and I mean I get excited for this still because we go on the fly and we connect with the Blue Devils. Even Bucks has B like Blue Devils. Look at his last name is Trent, which has the same amount of letters and three as three, excuse me. Three's got 5 letters, Trent has 5 letters, and they both start with the T. I mean, that's just it's 9 threes. So he had 27 points on 3-pointers. 9 threes times 3 is 27. And remember his full name, 207 like 27. Ray Allen, the same 207 with his birthday. So let's get out of here because I'm going wild now. Jeez, man. So we'll see what happens in the game on Sunday, game 4. Oh, and you know what? This was game 3, y'all. Good God. And let's not forget that this was game 3. I told you there's going to be something missed here. God, and that's freaking wild. Okay, so kind of a must win for the Bucks here, and they pull it off. He does got that 5 on the jersey. I mean, I'm probably missing something with that. I know that connects with the next breakdown I'll be doing, as you'll have to stay tuned to check that out. So, I mean, I don't want to cuss. I don't like to make these channels just to come on here and use foul language. I like to let this knowledge speak for itself. There's enough content creators who they can focus on just being vulgar. Every now and then you'll hear it from me, but damn, man, Gary Trent Jr. makes most of chance to start, has 9 threes, 37 points to help the Bucks beat the Pacers. I'm not even sure who he started for. I mean, if y'all want to look into that, I mean, holy crap, dude. Shout out to y'all. We'll see what happens in game 4. If there's any real people out there, let me know what I missed. Damn. Peace.